Today I'm going to be showing you how I gave this outdated cabinet a modern makeover. This process was not perfect and there were some setbacks, but I was blown away with the results, so let's jump into it. Hello, if you're new here, thank you so much for joining Red Dog Redesign. So this cabinet was given to me by my parents. If you've seen my previous videos, my parents moved into a new house and gave me a few pieces to make over. And this one, as you can see, it has this oak veneer and some weird hardware and inlays. They're like this leaf design. So definitely decided to change those out and give them a modern update. So I'm just starting by taking that hardware off and setting it aside, although I don't think I'm going to be using it for any future projects. I was looking at it weird because there was just one of the screws was just missing, but it was still holding on. Got my helper here as always. And I'm just taking these shelf holder nubbies out. I honestly don't know what these are called, but they're what hold the shelves up. So I was just taking those out and setting them aside. And then I'm just cleaning the whole piece with warm water and dish soap. In this video, I was working in our office room. My boyfriend and I live in a 2-bedroom duplex, so this is it's essentially what I'd call our office, but I'm lucky that I get to use this as a workspace. I was working in here at the time because it was just really cold outside, so wasn't able to work on my back porch thingy or in the backyard, so lucky to have this space. This thing. I tried filling this in with some wood filler. I'll tell you right now that did not end up working out, but I just wanted to show you realistically how things work out. If you do any sort of furniture flipping or projects, just know that it's okay if things don't work out the way that you thought they would. I honestly didn't know if this was going to work, but I figured I would give it a shot. And that's okay. Sometimes you just have to go with plan B or plan C. In this case, I went with plan B and I ended up just replacing that board entirely. I didn't do that on camera just because sometimes when you get stressed out about things, you don't necessarily think to pull out the camera, but I ended up getting a piece of hobby board from Home Depot and just cutting it down to size and wood gluing that on, which you will see at the end in the reveal. So I was testing out this hardware. These are these T-pools that I've used in a previous project. I think I got them off Amazon in like an 8-pack or something like that. So I went ahead and tried those out and I thought they looked good. So I just put those in the top existing hole and then filled in these bottom ones with wood filler. I had to put a few applications of the wood filler on. This one's not the best for filling in hardware holes because it shrinks down a little bit. So I had to get that on there a few times to get it flush. And then there was just a little chip on one of the legs, so I also filled that in with wood filler and sanded everything down smooth. And then I'm just taking some 220 grit sandpaper and wrapping it around a sanding sponge just to give the whole piece a nice scuff sand. Also, if you're wondering what's going on with my hair in this shot, I really don't know. um, this is my working hairstyle. Honestly, sometimes having my hair up in a weird style or something, it can be inspiring creatively. I'm probably the only person that feels that way, but that's okay. The paint I'm using today is just Valspar paint from Lowe's, and I got it color matched in a Benjamin Moore paint color called Hail Navy. It's this really nice, deep navy color. The method that I use for painting is brushing the paint on, so getting it onto the surface with a brush, and then I go back in with a roller just to smooth everything out. And this is a method that I got from someone else on YouTube. Her channel is called Black Sheep House. I've mentioned her in another video as well. Her name is Shannon, and her channel has just been really helpful for me. She has a lot of great tips on her channel, so definitely check it out if you haven't already. But I really like this method. So far I've found that it provides a really nice finish. And I'm not putting much pressure at all when I go back through with the roller. It's really just to smooth out that paint texture. So my plan for this piece is I taped off some of the inside. So I kept some of that veneer exposed basically. Um, Basically just so there was a little bit of contrast um, between those colors, and it ended up looking really nice. This piece had a lot of little nooks and crannies to get into, so it took a little bit longer. It was a little bit tedious to get into some of those spots. And here's where you can see that inlay design was still showing through. So that just wasn't going to work out, and we had to knock that sucker off and replace it. And these are the parts that I had painted on the inside, just the two sides. So I had those taped off. And the satisfying part, getting to see the paint. I mean, what am I saying? Tape. The tape getting peeled off. Clean lines are so satisfying. Although I didn't get it perfect at the top, but that was fine. I just sanded that off. So let's look back at what this piece looked like before. And our after. It is crazy how much a new coat of paint and new, more modernized hardware can make such a big difference on a piece. I'm really happy with how this one turned out. And Tino approves. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're not already subscribed, please consider subscribing. Like this video and let me know what you think in the comments. We'll see you in the next one.